Strength versus aesthetics, the ongoing debate. In the fitness world, one question has divided gym floors, social media threads, and training philosophies for years. Should you train for strength or for aesthetics? It's a debate that never really dies, and for good reason. These two goals shape entirely different paths, but they often overlap in ways most people overlook. On one side, there's strength training. This is all about performance, moving more weight, improving power, building functional ability, and hitting personal records. The focus isn't on how the muscles look, but what they can do. Lifters in this camp train to deadlift more, bench heavier, squat deeper, and move with power. Strength is tracked through numbers, objective, measurable progress. It's simple. You either lifted it or you didn't. Then you have aesthetic-focused training aimed at building a physique. That turns heads. Here it's all about shape, proportion, and definition. It's the world of lean waistlines, capped shoulders, symmetrical builds, and visible muscle separation. The goal isn't how heavy the weight is, it's how effectively you can control it, isolate the muscle, and generate that mind-muscle connection. This type of training often uses moderate weight, higher reps, and more attention to form and volume. So which one matters more? Well, it depends on your why. If your goal is to be functionally strong, resilient, and capable, then chasing strength might be your focus. If you want to look muscular, defined, and stage-ready, aesthetics becomes the priority. But the truth is, this comparison becomes toxic when people act like it's one or the other. Like choosing one automatically means neglecting the other. The most elite athletes and bodybuilders understand the balance. Powerlifters still want to look good in a t-shirt. Physique competitors still care about how much they can move in the gym. Most of us deep down want a bit of both, strength we can feel and a body we're proud to see in the mirror. This is where the conversation gets interesting, because even though these goals are different, they aren't opposites. Let's break the myth right here. You don't have to choose between strength and aesthetics. You can train for both. In fact, for most lifters, especially those working out from home or with limited equipment, building a body that's both strong and aesthetic is not only possible, it's efficient. Strength and aesthetics are more connected than people realize. Getting stronger helps build muscle. Lifting heavy increases mechanical tension, which is a primary driver of hypertrophy. At the same time, training for muscle size with good form, controlled tempo, and higher volume helps you gain more muscle tissue, which gives you more leverage to lift heavier. So what separates the two? The way you train. Strength training typically focuses on lower reps, around 3 to 6, heavier weights, and longer rest periods. It builds dense, thick muscle and central nervous system adaptation. Aesthetic training, on the other hand, often uses moderate weights, higher reps, 8 to 15, shorter rests, and more total volume to maximize hypertrophy and definition. But that doesn't mean you have to only train one way. The best physiques are built with a blend of both. Here's how to approach it. Use compound lifts, like squats, deadlifts, presses, to build strength. Then, use isolation and accessory movements, like curls, lateral raises, and flies, to fine-tune shape and symmetry. Track both your lifts and your physical progress, photos, mirror check-ins, how clothes fit. Rotate your training blocks to focus on strength for a few weeks, then hypertrophy, then back again. The point is, the fitness journey isn't about extremes, it's about blending strategies that support your vision. Want to feel powerful and capable in everyday life? Build strength. Want to look sharper, leaner, and more defined? Chase aesthetics. Want to dominate both lanes? Train with purpose. Use both tools. Because the most impressive transformation is when someone walks into a room and you can tell not only do they look strong, they actually are strong. And that's the sweet spot where strength meets aesthetics and no choice has to be made. By now, it's clear that strength and aesthetics aren't enemies, they're allies. But there's a deeper level to this conversation that most people never tap into. It's not just about training style or goal setting, it's about mindset. You can have the perfect split. You can balance heavy lifts and hypertrophy. You can blend strength with sculpting techniques. But if your mindset isn't in check, none of it lasts. And this is where the real edge is. The purpose behind your training. Most people get into fitness chasing one goal, Some want to get ripped for summer. Others want to hit a new bench PR, but goals without a deeper purpose fade quickly. Why? Because life gets hard. Motivation disappears. Progress stalls. And when that happens, it's not your genetics or your program that saves you. It's your mindset. To truly succeed, you have to respect the process more than the outcome. You have to train when the mirror shows no change. You have to show up when the strength isn't there. You have to commit whether you're chasing size, shape, or raw power as if it's mandatory. That's where the balance between strength and aesthetics becomes powerful. It's not just about how you look or what you lift. It's who you become by doing both. It builds discipline. Strength training demands structure. You can't just go through the motions. You have to track progress, push numbers, respect rest, and challenge your limits. Aesthetic training demands awareness. You have to know your body. Feel every rep, perfect your angles, and control your movements. When you combine both, you develop an elite level of focus that carries into every area of life. But here's the real gem. Training both makes the journey sustainable. If you only train for aesthetics, it's easy to fall off once you're satisfied with how you look. If you only train for strength, the constant pressure to improve numbers can burn you out or lead to injury. Balancing both gives you more reasons to stay consistent. If the scale doesn't move, maybe your lifts did. If your bench stalls, maybe your physique improved. There's always progress to chase, always something to build on. The most successful lifters, whether they train in a garage or a pro-level gym, aren't obsessed with one goal. They're obsessed with growth, physical growth, mental growth, performance growth, visual growth. And in the end, it's not about choosing between strength or aesthetics. It's about becoming a complete version of yourself, strong, capable, and confident.